Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a listing for your property on the Almeria property sales and rentals website, and then you'll be able to advertise your property on the World Wide Web. First thing we need to do is log in and register at the top here, which is using this link on the top right hand side. Now we need to create an account. If you've already created an account, you can just put in your username and password. If you forgot your password, you can click on this link here, which will reset and give you a new password. And just to show you what this looks like, click on that, create a link, an account. You need to input a username, your email address, and then your password twice, and then register. We've already done that, so we just need to input our username and password, and then click login. Okay, we're logged in now. Nothing much has changed except that the website's reloaded and we have a link at the top here. Now this is what we call the front end with these white links, and then at the top we have what we call the back end. So we've got two areas. The one that we're going to concentrate on today is just going to be the front end. So we want to be on where there's a little space for a picture and these white links. Now if we had browsed the site now and we select and look at properties and then favorite them, it will create a list of properties that are saved in the favorite listings there. If we had created any listings, they will be listed there, and then we've got account settings which we'll go through later. But first thing we're going to do is create and submit a listing. Now it doesn't really matter whether you share your location or not. When we click on that, it automatically changes the map down the bottom here. But if your details that you put in here are not the same as your actual location, that map will change anyway with the input and details that you put in when you fill the forms in. Now we're going to start on the left hand side here. On the address, now we're dealing with Spanish addresses, so some people obviously live on streets that are very old, and some people live on streets that are very new, and the listing on a lot of the maps is not all that up to date, particularly with streets. So sometimes the map might not load on your listing properly if your address is not put in input correctly. So what I suggest you do, keep it nice and simple, and just put in the town, the area, or the village where you live rather than the street address, because then the map will probably work better, and it doesn't need to actually show the location of your property, just really the area where it is. So we're just going to select a small village. Now the second line, it would be the headline of your advert, and I'll just show you what that means. If we look at this particular one here, this is the listing, what type of listing you'll see we were going to create. There is the headline, and there is an address. So anything we put in this box here, the second box down, that will be the headline. Now you could leave it blank, but for instance, we're selecting a villa for this property, and the villa's got a name, so we're going to import the name of the villa. But you can put anything in there that you want, an alternative title like a luxury 3-bedroom property. You know, you could create your own headline. It doesn't have to be anything specific. You know, so that obviously is a nice bit of advertising for your property. whatever headline that you want. And you can obviously change this at any time as well. You can log back in and you can edit your listing at any time. So okay, so that's an important point to know, that you can change this any part of it at all at any time. So we select the type of property. In this instance, we've got a villa with a pool. The status is important. We've got it up for rent. It's holiday accommodation, so the rent is reflecting on that. In here, we would put in call for prices or price on application, or any instructions you want to give to potential renters or buyers of your property. Now in here you can see there's an example where they want month or week. Now this obviously this box refers to rental. It doesn't obviously refer to properties that are up for sale, so you would leave that blank. Now in here we've got a property description. Now I'm going to copy and paste a small description here just to demonstrate this listing, but you really want to put in as much information in here as you can. Things about your garden, if it's got a garage, all the things about the property. You know, you want to try and sell the property as best as you can and give it a really nice description. You can put in little things about the local area, but don't emphasize on the local area too much, because people can investigate that anyway, and there's going to be information on the website about local areas around in Almeria anyway. But what you really want to concentrate on is a good description for the property, and try and include everything that you can. Now, while we're on the while we're on the subject of this description, I've got some more text here that I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to paste it into here. So I'm bypassing a little bit of the form at the moment, because we've got some additional features about the property, and these are separated with a comma. Now, these additional features could be things like, you know, anything that's extra, that wouldn't normally be included in a property. For example, like, you know, this particular property, we put a description in there: disabled friendly. It's got a heated pool. You could put in other things, depending on what type of property you're listing, and the reason for it, whether it be renting or whatever. You know, I mean, some vacation properties, they have extra items like ping pong tables, pool tables, things like that. You know, so you can actually add all them things in here, in this box here. Now, because this is a rental property, we've got some additional rental information. We just click on that little icon there, and then we can actually fill some more information in. So, max number of guests, check-in time. And obviously on a rental property, and it's a vacation property, you need a check-in and out time. So if there's any extra personal charges for any reason, you can put that there, and then you can explain later what the reason for that is. Cancellation fees, if somebody cancels, you can put that in there. You can put in the details of a security deposit, and with the booking form that's input later, because that's actually added by administration, the admin. You can edit that later. There's another video on the booking form, completely different one. And then obviously, if there's a cleaning fee when the people leave your property, you can add that in there. Here's where we'd select images. So what you would do then, you click on that button, and then you navigate to the folder where you've got your images stored, and then you select the images that you want to upload. Now you can do this one at a time, or you can click on one, go down the list of images that you've got to upload, press the shift key on your keyboard, and then click again on your mouse, and it will select all of them images, and then you can click open and upload all of the images. Now I don't want to do that, because basically that would take a little bit of time, so I'm just going to do 3 for this purpose of this demonstration. And then once you've selected the images, we click open. Now we haven't got much more of this form to fill in. Now you notice straight away on this image we've got 2 little icons. That's to delete the image. you can delete that one if you uploaded something you didn't want on there. And then there's a star. Now, if we select the star, if you look at this particular advert, you see that image that's located on the front of that? That is determining the position of the image. That's like a featured image, and that's what will be displayed on your advert. So we're going to select that one because it's a nice image there. And then we've just got to go up the right hand side here. We've just got to put in the city. Now, obviously, if you put the city there, you put the same in there. Now, this is important for the map. The city, the state, and the postcode. You have to put them in correctly, or the map won't be displayed correctly. We select the country, which obviously is Spain. Now, we're concentrating on state Almeria, the province Almeria. So that's always going to be the same. Postcode is obviously determined by the city or the area. Now, if you've got an apartment block of 10 properties that you own, you could say that is a community of properties, and you could put the community details in there. Or if you was an agent, again selling properties off of one set of apartment blocks, then you could do that then. But otherwise, I would leave the community box blank. You want to put a number of beds in, how many bathrooms. Now, if you're selling a property, you want to put a square feet information in there, but on a rental property, that is not that important. Property ID, you can leave that blank because that's done by administration. Video is quite useful. If you've got a video of your property, it's a really good selling point. Now, if you haven't got one, you can create one. Create a video, upload it to YouTube, and then what you do is you go to YouTube, and then you go to your video to view it. And if you go down here, you'll see there's a little link to share. Click on that. Now, this is what we call the URL of the video. It's already highlighted in blue, so we just have to hover over it, right click, copy, go back to our listing, right click, paste, and that is entered in there then. Now we'll see what that looks like now once we've actually finished creating this listing. So we don't need to fill anything else in, it's all there. And remember, we can come back to this anytime. We can add things to the listing description and also the additional features. And the additional features, for instance, you can look at other people's adverts and you can see the additional features that they've got, and you can come back and you can add them to your listing if you feel that they're appropriate for your property. The same goes for the listing description. You know, you can look at other people's properties and get ideas from other people. There's no problems there. Now, we've done that, so we're just going to click on Submit the Listing. It's going to create our listing for us. It's going to take just a few seconds. There we are, you see, there is our listing. It's already been published because I've disabled in the admin approval, the request for approval, because obviously with admin we're going to have to you know, make sure that people are putting up adverts that are appropriate. So we're going to enable a system where they have to be approved. Now, when they're approved, sometimes you'll have to come back here and publish it. But other than that, you can see it anyway. So we just click on there and we're going to have a look at the advert. Now, this is live. Now, this advert is live, and this is what the general public are going to see. There you go, you see. This is actually what the general public will see with your advert. There's the pictures. Now, they can enlarge the pictures, or they can slide them across. They can favourite the system. They can compare it with other properties. And they can see on that, that's the stats of how many views it's got and things like that. So you can come back and look at your listing and you can see how many people have viewed your property just by hovering over there, and it will show you the stats. And there's the property information. As you can see, property features, they're highlighted with a tick. And here's that video that we uploaded from YouTube. Isn't that brilliant? And as you go, see, there's the location with the map, and it's actually changed to the information that we input on the form, Alpha Kia. Now I've got some information from the Yelp website, which gives us some information about what is nearby, like Mercadona shopping and the banks and things like that. And then there's a form for people to fill in, okay, inputting their name, address and details. and they will submit that, and you would receive that email directly to yourself, and then you can obviously deal with them inquiries personally. And then if we go back over here, you can actually edit this listing. If you're not happy with anything, go back to your listings, and there you see there's a little pencil. You click on that there, and you will be back in to the form and the editing of the actual listing. There you see we're back in the form now, so you can change anything that you want of your advertisement. Now just have a quick look at account settings, which is down here. Now most of this is optional, but I do advise you to import this, because import some more details, particularly your contact information and things like that. Now you got your first, your name and things like that. You can input your website, your Twitter name, LinkedIn, Google Plus and stuff. You can do a bit of biography if you want, but it's not really that important. As long as you've got your contact information on here, and there's boxes to put in your mobile number. You can upload a photo if you'd like. You could have an avatar, or you could use an image from your property, for an example. This information really is for agents and people and brokerages and things like that. And then once you've made your changes, you would click on the update the profile button. Let's just have a quick look at the back end. So when you finish, you log out, but let's just have a quick look at the back end. So we just click on right at the top there, edit my profile. Now this is the back end information, and it will actually list all the same information exactly as what you've got on the front. It's like your mobile number and things like that. It's a mirror image basically. This profile is. You can look at posts and add posts. You can look at your listings there. You can look at brokers and testimonials and things like that. But they're really for the admin side of things. Really what you want to be just concentrating on is your listing and your profile, or nothing other than that, really, to be honest with you. We'll probably remove some of these. See, there is your listing. So that's it, really. I mean, there you are. We have just created a property listing. I mean, the video is probably not very appropriate for this this listing, but there is the listing for your property. It didn't take very long, and it didn't cost anything either. Over here, we've got some sharing things that people can click on. They can print this information off. They can share it on Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of things. And obviously we've got all them links at the top and the bottom as well. They're all over the place. I think that's about covered it, really. I don't have anything to say about that. I mean, obviously, if this map isn't loading correctly, go back in and edit your listing and change the city address and location and things like that, and that should correct any faults that you've got there. Admin, if this is a vacation property, admin will add in a booking form for you, and they will send you details of the video and instructions that you need to follow to edit your booking form. Okay, thank you for watching, and hope that's useful for you. And it's goodbye from me.